Hi guys, welcome back again. It's been a long while that I've posted a video, but the reason I'm posting this one is because of misconception that is there out there about annual returns and tax. It's like a long age misconception. A lot of people think that when they pay their annual returns, they're actually paying tax, and some believe that when they pay tax, they're actually paying annual returns. So this video is actually to educate you about the different authorities in charge of annual returns and tax. I have clients telling me that they want to pay their annual returns tax, and in my mind I'm wondering, like, what is annual returns tax? So this video is to educate you on it. So before we go ahead, I want to actually indulge or crave your indulgence. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Trust me, you gain a lot of knowledge from it. I enjoy teaching people about all the details of how to go about registration of your business and how you can protect your business with your trademark brands and all that. Trust me, you will enjoy it. And just stick to the end and get this knowledge. You can actually educate someone else about it, especially when you've learned from it. So these are the few points I'm going to give and tell you the difference between annual returns and tax. So without much ado, let's just dive in. First of all, I want to talk about annual returns. Annual returns is governed by the body Corporate Affairs Commission, and Corporate Affairs Commission is popularly known as CAC. If you've registered a business before or want to register a business in Nigeria, you'll definitely be abreast with CAC, Corporate Affairs Commission. And annual returns is a yearly payment after 18 months of you registering your company. Okay, so let me give an analogy. You have a car, right? You fill your car and you oil your car. So annual returns is like the oil you need to put in your engine. You don't get to do it monthly. It's for a period of time. So that's annual returns. Annual returns is actually a yearly payment which you pay to the Corporate Affairs Commission, just to show that your business is a going concern. When we say a going concern, means you're interested in still using your business. You use your business every year. So annual return, CAC actually expects you to pay your annual returns so that they don't delist you as a company. The reason why they delist as a company is that if you haven't paid your annual returns for a long while, it is deemed or is assumed or presumed that you're no longer using your company at all for business or for anything. So annual returns just is a record, is a yearly update in the CAC record showing that, oh, I'm still interested in using my business. About annual returns is that if you don't file your annual returns on a yearly basis, it accumulates. It accumulates, and then it becomes, there is a penalty attached to it. For each this entity you register, whether it's a business name, a company, or an NGO, you are entitled to pay your annual returns yearly. It is mandatory, actually. It's not a fee that you can exempt yourself from. So for a business name, the normal annual returns is 3,000 without default. If you default, that is, you fail to pay the year you're supposed to pay, there is a default charge attached to it. It's 5,000 naira added to that 3,000. So you're paying 8,000 naira. That's the calculation. We have charges on remitter and bank charges. So most of the time, it's 3,000 and 8,500. Okay, and then for a business, a company, that's for a business name. For a company, it's higher. You pay 5,000 naira annually without default fee. With default fee, there's an extra 5,000 naira on it. So basically, 10,500. If you are actually in default, when it comes to non-governmental agencies, they're more expensive. You pay actually 10,000 naira normal, but your default fee is 5,000 naira. So eventually you get to pay 5,500. I know I might be shocked saying this exact price. Anyways, that is what you pay. The other side of it is that in Nigeria now, you can register your business and your company by yourself as an entity, but annual returns actually falls under the category of post incorporation applications, and so you definitely need an accredited agent to do that for you, and every accredited agent has their charges, their professional fee attached to this fee. So it's always better to update your annual returns and pay yearly, what I do with my clients is that at the beginning of the year, I send them a message that's okay, this year have started, this is what you do. You need to, update your annual returns, because it's cheaper for them to pay yearly than it to accumulate. The advantages of actually paying your annual returns is that investors look into these things, they do search, and if your status is showing inactive and not active, it might be a problem for your investor. There are some of my clients that wanted to actually travel abroad, and during their visa interview, they asked them, it's like they declared their company and they had to ask them if their company status is showing active, and it was inactive. So they had to go and pay. Just imagine owing 20 years or owing 14 years annual returns. You have to pay those 14 years with the default fee and professional charges on it. So it's quite expensive. So it's always advisable to pay your annual returns yearly, so that you can reduce the expense. You can reduce the money that you're spending on it. On the other side, tax is not annual returns, as we say. Tax, you get to pay it monthly. There are different tax times. There are a lot of taxes in Nigeria right now that I don't even know which one I will delve in. But taxes are paid when you start doing business with your company. Okay, let me explain this. It's mandatory for every business entity, including citizens, to pay taxes in Nigeria. We have personal income tax, and then we have the company income tax. I'm not going to be talking about the personal income tax. I'm talking about the company income tax. So now, after 18 months of your registration, you are entitled to start paying your tax. Now, the difference is this: annual returns, whether you're doing business or not, you are entitled or mandated to pay your annual returns. But for tax, you need to start doing business before you pay. If you're not doing business with your company or your business name, you are exempted from tax, but you must file tax returns every month. Okay, how should I explain this? You're not doing business, but you must tell the authority that I am not doing business, so that they'll issue, a statement saying that, okay, this company is not doing business, so they are not entitled yet to pay tax. The authority in charge of taxes in Nigeria is the Federal Inland Revenue Service for the Federation, especially company tax. That is like what we also call the FIRS. So FIRS is in charge of company tax. When you're talking about business name, you have to do SIRS, which is State Inland Revenue Service. SIRS is actually governed, by the state. So business name are governed by the state, while company taxes, FIRS, are governed by federal government. So you should know which one you're doing. But everybody has a tax identification number. When you finish registering your company, or your business name, you actually have to go to Federal Inland Revenue Service to generate your tax identification number to start paying taxes, and you have 18 months of exemption for paying tax. Also, there is actually an exemption from tax if you've not started making money up to 25 million in your business. But when your business starts making 25 million and above, you start paying taxes. On the other hand, as I stated earlier, you have to monthly tell FIRS that I have not started doing business with my company after the 18 months of exemption. If you do not, there's a default fee attached to it. Tax is actually a whole lot. It's not something I can just explain in a very short video. This video is just to tell you the difference between annual returns and tax. Just note that we have withholding tax under companies income tax. We have VAT. So we have to file taxes. There is for withholding tax and VAT, you file the 21st of June, while 30th of June, you file the company income tax. So there are different taxes that governs companies. Business name is practically governed by the personal income tax. You actually just pay your personal income tax to pay for tax for a business name, and it's basically done under the State Inland Revenue Service, SIRS. So you have to locate it. That is why your tax office is usually the office closest to your office location. Taxes are paid yearly Yes, but when you are exempted from tax if your business haven't started, receiving profits up to 25 million. But note, I need you to get this, it's very important, because a lot of businesses and companies actually don't start business or making profits early on. So when you are not making profits or you're not doing anything with your company, note that you still need to file your annual returns, telling the government that you have not started making profit, or your profit has not gotten up to 25 million where you are entitled to, start paying taxes. The reason for this is so that there will not be any default charges on it. When you don't file any, form of report to the Federal Inland Revenue, there's a presumption that you are making money and you are evading tax. So they actually put a default charge on you, which is quite expensive. So it's better that you take this up and begin to file your reports, telling them that okay, I'm into business, but I'm not up to 25 million yet, or I've registered this company, but I have not started making profit, I've not started doing business with them. That is for tax under the Federal Inland Revenue Service. But for annual returns, note that whether you are doing business or you're not doing business, you're making profit or you're not making profit, yearly you have to file for your annual returns, especially if you are interested in using the company or business name or NGO. In my next video, I'm going to give you the requirements, especially for annual returns, what you need to file your annual returns. As I stated earlier, you cannot file your annual returns by yourself. You need an accredited agent. I am one. If you're interested, we can help you file. But that is the difference. Just note the difference that annual returns is not tax, and tax is not annual returns. Annual returns is governed by the Corporate Affairs Commission in Nigeria, popularly known as CAC, while tax is governed by the Federal Inland Revenue Service, popularly known as the FIRS. So if you have been, blessed by this video, share it, educate yourself, arm yourself with, the knowledge, so that you can actually tell someone else about it, and you can actually help another person. These things, they use it to actually defraud people. We've had people being defrauded, via taxes as well as annual returns. So it's always good to have a knowledge about it before you engage anybody to help you with your annual returns or your taxes. Anyways, thank you for all my subscribers, and for those that continue subscribing to my channel, I really appreciate you. But I hope this video has educated you, in one way or the other. Thank you, and stay blessed, and keep doing what God has called you to do.